It's another edition of Time About the Movies, and today we're taking a look at the films of August 18th, 2006. We have 5 films to look at today, including one of the most overhyped movies of all time, Justin Long coming off of Dodgeball, starring in his first leading role in a comedy. We have Hillary and Haley Duff in a comedy as well. We also have one of the 2 big magician movies that came out in 2006, and we also have an ensemble film from Bart Fruit Lodge. I don't even know if I said that right, but we'll get to that one as we move along here. But let's go ahead and start with the biggest new release of the weekend. And like I said before, one of the most overhyped movies of all time. Let's talk about the infamous Snakes on a Plane. Yeah, it really was not the beginning of the summer. And as much as they want to tell you that, this movie, you could kind of predict what was going to happen after you saw the film. But before that, everyone thought this was going to be the big hit of the summer because simply of the title alone, and I'm not even kidding, before the film came out, there was a lot of buzz about the film. Large fan bases online made this movie an internet phenomenon. This was kind of the first viral marketed movie that really was a success at first, because people saw the casting, saw the title, saw the premise, and thought that this was going to be one of the greatest movies of all time, one of the greatest bad movies of all time. And New Line Cinema went all in on it. They actually had to reshoot a lot of scenes, especially the scene where the title of the movie isn't even mentioned one bit. No joke. The famous line in this movie, the title of the movie, doesn't come in until the reshoots come in, because they didn't have it in the original film. And then the film came out and was a massive flop at the box office. It was not the big hit that everyone was expecting it to be. It made its budget back. It made it back its $32 million budget. But at the same time, it was not the hit that the studio was really hoping for. But the plot of this movie is you have the events of dozens of venomous snakes being released on a passenger plane in an attempt to kill a trial witness. So, a typical B-movie setting here. This is directed by David R. Ellis, who's directed Cellular, Final Destination 2. He's directed a couple movies that we talked about on the show before, and part of the reason why the film doesn't work, I think, pretty much says it right there from the beginning of from the beginning alone. Like, it's a movie that is literally called Snakes on a Plane, and I think because the film had so much to live up to with that title, and you know, it really lost what it was trying to accomplish. What was the end result of this movie supposed to be? Was it supposed to be a guilty pleasure movie? Was it supposed to be a film that was supposed to be taken too seriously or too over the top? It really was way too hard to figure out. And when I watched it the first time, I really did not enjoy this movie. I thought it was really, really boring. I thought it wasn't exciting. I thought it wasn't fun overall. And it just wasn't fun at all. Like, it wasn't even fun in a bad B-movie type of way, per se. Like, even the scene in the movie where he says the line, you know, enough is enough. I've had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane. Like, okay, that's fun overall, but it's forced, man. It's really, really forced. And even so, it's not even that fun to watch. Like, I'd rather listen to the TV edit version of it, which is so stupid. It works in its own very special way, you know. I've had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane. I mean, come on. That was much more clever than the line they actually used in the actual movie. I mean, this is really, really stupid. This is a terrible movie. It's not even a good, so bad it's good type of movie. It's a bad movie that's just a bad movie that was hoping for dear life that it could live up to the overhype that everyone's made it out to have, and it just couldn't do it, man. It was a film that was just so badly put together. So not inspiring by any means necessary. Not fun. Not fun in a guilty pleasure type of way either. I didn't like it when it first came out. It still has not held up over 20 years later. You wonder why nobody really ever talks about this movie anymore. Yeah, kind of hard not to see why this film didn't take off as much as they wanted to. Actually, no. What am I saying? It's pretty easy why this didn't take off, because the movie ain't that damn good to begin with. So yeah, that stinks on a plane. Really didn't like it. So let's get to a good movie, I guess. Not really, but still the better movie that we have. Still the best movie we have this weekend. That is Justin Long starring in Accepted.
College turned him down.
You want to have a happy and successful life? Go to college.
He made one up.
Welcome to the South Harmon Institute of Technology.
What the hell was that?
The Rejected
Ask me about my wiener. Ask me about my wiener.
will be accepted.
Someone here ordered 2 dozen kegs. What the hell was that?
2 dozen eggs.
Accepted.
So in this movie, you have Justin Long, who's a high school graduate who, after being rejected by every college he applies to, concocts a plan to create a fake university with his friends to convince his parents he's moving forward with his education. As more students also rejected from other schools mistakenly apply to the fictional South Harmon Institute of Technology. I think I'll let you know. I think I'll let you spell that out to spell what that actually is. Bartleby and his friends decide to run it as if it were a real institution. And you have a cast that also includes Blake Lively, Jonah Hill in one of his early film roles, Anthony Held. Lewis Black is also in the movie as well. Maria Thayer from Forgetting Sarah Marshall. A really good cast overall in the movie, and the film is enjoyable. It's a funny movie. It's a very funny film, a very clever film at times. Is it the best overall comedy that came out this year? Probably not, but in a year that included such misfires as Talladega Nights and some other comedies we've talked about on here, this is probably one of the ones that doesn't get the proper attention it deserves, but it actually is a really funny movie. There's a lot of it I really like about it. It's stupid for the sake of being stupid in a good way. It's a real fun movie. I really enjoy it a lot. I think it's a very dumb movie. Not a great comedy by any means necessary, but I think it is still a really funny film. And it shows what Justin Long can do as a leading actor overall. And I don't think he's really gotten that much since then. I think he's been more relegated to supporting roles in the last couple of years. But he's been in a couple of leading roles that have been pretty good. Barbarian was pretty good, but yeah, this is a pretty good movie. I thought it was okay. Nothing too great, nothing too spectacular, but a pretty good movie overall. At least I thought it was. So let's get to a comedy that just doesn't work, and that is Hilary and Haley Duff starring in Material Girls.
This Friday, 2 Material Girls
Sorry, your code's been declined.
Hey, we're broke.
are getting real.
Can you type? We're good.
We could do like 10 IMs a minute.
Hilary and Haley Duff, Material Girls, rated PG. Only in theaters this Friday.
Remember the days when everyone had flip phones? Good times for all. The Silver Spoon daughters of the late cosmetic empire founder Victor Marchetta, Ava and Tanzi, played by Hilary and Haley Duff, never ever took an interest in their business, happy to let it run by their firm and their firm's administrator Tommy Katzenberg, while they lead socialite lives. So I guess they're kind of like the Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie, except much classier, if you will, but classier for a PG-13 movie, by the way. Aiming at a marriage with soap star Mick Ryan, like Micronn. Like, suddenly a scandal wrecks the firm's stock and their family reputation. Their credit cards are canceled. One of them torches the mansion. The other hands their sports car to a thief mistaken for a parking valet. So they end up living with their Latino former cleaning lady, help to investigate whether the firm is really best sold to competitor Fabilia. Like, these names are really stupid, just like this movie. As Tommy claims, comes from hunky lab technician okay, I can't even finish this plot anymore. This movie is so fucking stupid, man. This is supposed to be a modern retelling of Jane Austen's Sense and Sensibility, but you know what? There's a better Sense and Sensibility movie out there. It's the Emma Thompson one that came out in 1996. Watch that movie. Don't watch this garbage. And this is a garbage movie. This is a really, really bad movie that is just the definition of just sucking up to try to appeal to the modern teen generation of this time period, and just doing it in a way that's so badly put together. And this is, this was the year that Lindsay Lohan's career pretty much came to an end with Just My Luck. This movie pretty much killed Hilary Duff's career as a whole, too. I mean, you didn't see her in anything that big again after this, as far as I remember, but, I think the most notable thing she did after this was that terrible Sharon Tate movie that came out a couple years ago, but I could be wrong on that. I have to double check, but, even then, this is still a terrible, terrible movie. A very unfunny film. A film that is so lazy, so uninspired, so lackluster on so many levels. This movie sucks. I mean, is there anybody out there who's really going to defend this garbage? Then again, most people will defend anything nowadays. I mean, I do defend garbage sometimes too, but don't do this. Don't defend this piece of shit. This is literally a piece of shit movie. Like, there's so many better movies you could be watching out there than this garbage. Probably our next movie, for example. How about The Illusionist?
The magic. He's fallen on a magician. The mystery. Has he tricked you? The secret. No one could have imagined.
He will not escape.
Really?
Find him!
The most mesmerizing movie of the year.
How is it done?
The Illusionist. Only Tuesday.
As I mentioned before, one of two magician movies coming out around this time in 2006, but the next one will be the much better and the more successful movie. But in this film, you have based off of a short story called Eisenheim the Illusionist, and it tells the story of Eisenheim, played by Edward Norton, a magician in turn-of-the-century Vienna who reunites with his childhood love, played by Jessica Biel, a woman far above his social standings. It also depicts a fictionalized version of the Mayerling incident, and also has Paul Giamatti in there as a detective, Rufus Sewell, Eddie Marsan. It's been a long time since I've seen this movie, and from what I remember from it, I thought it was just okay. I don't remember if it was anything that spectacular overall, but like I said, the next magician movie that we'll talk about that comes out in a couple months from this point was the far superior movie, and the one I've watched more and more. This one, I watched it once. I remember not hating it, but I remember never wanting to really watch it again afterwards. So maybe it's gotten better over time, or maybe it just hasn't been. Maybe it has not. Who knows? But I mean, last time I saw it though, I didn't think it was that bad. But so I'm just going off of that. Not a bad movie, but not one I'd really want to watch over and over again. But at least it was better than Material Girls. I got to give it that. But with that said, let's move on to our last movie, and that is Trust the Man.
A comedy that proves sometimes you gotta be crazy to be committed.
Did you like the play?
Trust the man.
I mean, I think I just showed you the best joke in the whole movie. I mean, that scene alone, I thought was the funniest thing in the whole thing. But then again, this is the same director that did Catch That Kid. And I was right. It was Bart Freudenlich, Freundlich. I was close. I just can't get the pronunciation right. But I had the name right. But so this is Trust the Man, and it centers around four best friends, married couple Tom and Rebecca, played by David Duchovny and Julianne Moore, and longtime relationship partners Toby and Elaine, played by Billy Crudup and Maggie Gyllenhaal. It follows the two couples as they face trials and tribulations in their relationships. Tom, after feeling a lack of intimacy with his wife, meets a divorced mother at his son's school, Rebecca, who's played... Rebecca, though, is an film actress making her stage debut, meeting a younger actor named Jasper, played by Justin Bartha, who shows infatuation with her. Toby, who does not show interest in settling down for marriage or kids, runs into an old flame from college named Faith, played by Eva Mendes. Elaine, after confronting Toby about wanting to get married and have a family, meets several suitors throughout the course of the movie. And the story follows Tom and Toby as they attempt to mend their relationships with their partners. You also have Gary Shandling in the cast, Ellen Barkin, Sterling K. Brown, James LaGrosse. So some notable names throughout the course of the film. I can't say the movie is terrible by any means necessary. There are those little bits where the film does have a little bit of life to it here and there, but I think, like I said before, the little bit clip I showed you there of Toby screaming out for Maggie Gyllenhaal's character and asking her if she liked the play, that's the most memorable scene from the movie for me. I mean, that's the moment that I remember the most from this film. Everything else is just kind of meh. I mean, there's a possibility there for a good movie. There's a lot of really good talent involved in here, but it just can't elevate itself to that next level to make it a great film overall. And it just really just feels like it's just on autopilot pretty much. Like there's nothing really about it that makes it stand out or is anything unique or amazing, but it just feels like a film that's just, it's there, and it's just like, it just doesn't feel like it's worth it in the end. I mean, the performances I think are fine. I think they do carry to a place where it could be a little bit of an elevation, but it's not enough for me to say it's one you should definitely check out. But, yeah, it's just a film that I just feel like it's just okay. Nothing too spectacular, nothing too amazing. Just, it's there. If you're interested in seeing it, I'm not going to stop you from seeing it, but prepare to be a little bit disappointed by the end result. That's how I feel about the film. Trust the man. And so with that said, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies. The next time we meet, we'll wrap August up with 5 more movies, including Mark Wahlberg starring in Disney's football sports drama Invincible. We also have the latest film from the creators of The Dukes of Hazzard and Super Troopers Beer Fest. Andre 3000 and Big Boy from Outkast make a musical with Idlewild. Another kids' book by New Line Cinema gets turned into a feature film, How to Eat Fried Worms, and we also have Alicia Cuthbert and Camilla Bell in the thriller The Quiet. So we have 5 films to look at next time. We'll take a look at all 5 of those movies on the next episode. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, please hit the place on the next page, check out the previous episode, and also don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and notification button because we post videos here every day, and you get updates on when new videos come out. And don't go too far away, because coming up on Time About the Movies Flashback, we have 5 movies to look at on October 16th, 1987, including Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night 2, Weeds, House of Games, Barfly, and Hope and Glory. So we'll take a look at those movies on Time About the Movies Flashback, which will be coming up right after this. So stick around, we'll be right back.